Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be looking into a game between Grandmaster Lena Domingos Perez and Grandmaster Sanan Sujiro from the round 9 of FIDE Chess Olympiad 2024 between USA and Hungary. Let's jump right into the game. Perez, starting with the white pieces, go for 1 e4. Sanan replies with c5, knight to f3, d6, d4, c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, a6, bishop to e3, e5, knight to b3, bishop to e7, f3, bishop to e6, queen to d2. Sanan goes for castling. Perez goes for long castling. Knight on b to d7, g4, b5, g5, b4, knight to e2, knight to e8, f4, a5, f5, a4, f takes on e6, a takes on b3, c takes on b3, f takes on e6, king to b1. And here Sanan will play an interesting move, which is rook takes on a2. So if you look at this move, it feels like Sanan is sacrificing a rook. But the problem is here, if Perez go ahead and capture this rook with a king, then Sanan will continue with queen to a8 with check. And once the king moves, the only move is king to b1, then Sanan will come and take this pawn with check. And once the queen blocks the check, then Sanan will take the rook. And now at the end of the trade, Sanan has 2 points of material up. So for seeing this, Perez continues with bishop to h3, rook to a5, bishop takes on e6 with check, king to h8, knight to g3, knight to c7, bishop to c4, queen to a8, rook on h to f1, rook takes on f1, rook takes on f1, rook to a1 with check, king to c2, rook takes on f1, bishop takes on f1, d5, queen to f2, g6, h4, queen to f8, queen takes on f8 with check, knight takes on f8, bishop to h3, t takes on e4, knight takes on e4, knight to d5, bishop to a7, knight to f4, bishop to c8, knight to g2, bishop to f2, h6, king to d3, h takes on g5, knight takes on g5, knight to h7, knight to f3, bishop to d6, bishop to b7, king to g7, king to c4, knight to f6, knight to g5, knight to g4, bishop to c5. So if you look at this position, after 41 moves to the game, the match is pretty much balanced. So the right continuation here for Sanan to play bishop takes on c5 and trade up the bishop. But instead he will play knight on 4 to e3 with check, and this is a big mistake. Perez is having a winning advantage now of plus 3.1 and he continues with king takes on d4. Bishop takes on c5 with check, king takes on c5, knight takes on h4, b4, king to f6, b5, king to e7, b6, king to d7, bishop to c5 with check, king to c8, knight to e6, knight to g4, b7 with check, king to b8, king to b6. And it was in this position after 50 moves into the game. Sanan Sujiro had resigned the game to Lena Domingos Perez, and USA went on to defeat Hungary, and now USA is placed second in the points table. The reason for resignation is that there is a forced mate in 4 moves here. Sanan Sujiro's king has officially run out of moves here, and I want you to pause this video for a moment and try to figure out the forced mate in 4 moves for Lena Domingos Perez. Kudos if you are able to figure out the forced mate for Perez, and it continues with. So only continuation here, the best continuation here for Sanan is playing the knight to e3, trying to rotate the knight back and try to create some counterplay. So Perez can push this p-pawn and take away this square from this knight. If he try to continue like e4, then knight to f8, trying to rotate the knight and to check the king because there is no squares remaining for king. Just need to check the king to end the game in a checkmate. So knight to d5 with check, bishop takes on d5. No more remaining for Sanan. If you play some random moves like e3, then it will be knight to d7, checkmate. So for seeing this, Sanan Sujiro has resigned after king to b6.